Good morning. How are you guys today? Thank you for visiting with us. We're continuing our studies from the book of 1 Samuel. Today we're in chapter 21. And in this chapter, we'll find David pretending to be insane, or as the word is called by so many, pretending to be crazy. And so in chapter 1, we'll also see that David is going to go out of the land because he's running from King Saul, who is trying to kill him. And so in chapter 21, then came David to Nob, which is the city of the priest, to Ahimelech the priest. And Ahimelech was afraid at the meeting of David, and said unto him, Why art thou alone, and no man with thee? So the priest didn't understand why he was seeing only David, and he got afraid because of Saul trying to kill him. He knew about that. Verse 2. And David said unto Ahimelech the priest, the king, King Saul, hath commanded me a business, a job to do, and had said unto me, Let no man know anything of the business whereabout I send thee, and what I have commanded thee. Then David says, And I have appointed servants, my servants, to such and such a place. So David here is telling the priest where his servants was, letting him know that he was not alone. Verse 3. Now therefore, what is under thine hand? Give me 5 loaves of bread in mine hand, or what there is present, whatever you have, give us food. And the priest answered David, verse 4, and said, There is no common bread under mine hand, but there is hallowed bread, or consecrated showbread. If the young men have kept themselves at least from women. So the priest is saying to David, I only have the bread that's eaten only by the priest. So it's consecrated bread, not everyday or common bread. Verse 5, And David answered the priest and said unto him, Of a truth, women have been kept from us about these 3 days since I came out, and the vessels or the bodies of the young men are holy, and the bread is in a manner common, yea, though it were sanctified this day in the vessel. So we know it was on the Sabbath day, because in Leviticus 24, verse 8, they made new showbread every Sabbath day, the priest did. So the priest gave him hallowed or consecrated bread, for there was no bread there but the showbread that was taken from before the Lord to put hot bread in the day when it was taken away. And that's when it became common, because a week had passed and it was replaced by new showbread. Verse 7. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord. The Lord set him up, and his name was Doeg, an Edomite, the chiefest of the herdmen that belonged to Saul. Verse 8. And David said unto Ahimelech, And is there not here under thine hand spear or sword? For I have neither brought my sword nor my weapons with me, because the king's business required haste. And the priest said, the sword of Goliath, whom thou slewest in the valley of Elah, behold, it is here wrapped in a cloth behind the ephod. If thou wilt take that, take it, for there is no other save that here. And David said, there is none like that, give it me. And verse 10, and David rose, stood up, and fled that day for fear of Saul, and went to Achish, the king of Gath. Now in chapter 27 of 1 Samuel, in this part, David is going to play insane, but in chapter 27, David is going to go to the same king, and he will be received by Achish. Verse 11. And this is a Philistine. This is Philistine. Verse 10 is Philistine country. Verse 11. And the servants of Achish said unto him, is not this David the king of the land? Did they not sing one to another of him in dancing, saying, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s? And David laid up these words in his heart and was sore afraid of Achish, the king of Gath. And this is where he pretends to be crazy or insane. And he changed his behavior before them and pretended or feigned himself mad in their hands, and scrabbled on the doors of the gate, and let his spittle fall down upon his beard. So he pretended to be insane, and that word mad that he said, he pretended himself mad in their hands. And verse 14, then said Achish unto his servants, lo, you see the man is mad or insane. Wherefore then have you brought him to me? Why have you brought him to me? Verse 15, have I need of a madman, that you have brought this fellow to play the madman in my presence? Shall this fellow come into my house? And so when we get to chapter 27, verse 2, David is going to leave after this, and then Saul is still going to be following him. So this is a short chapter today, but we'll move forward next time. Oh, you all have a great day and a great week.